pessoal, tudo bom? No vídeo de hoje eu vou levar vocês a conhecerem o Kilimanjaro Safari aqui no Animal Kingdom. Bora lá?
Look above your head, there's an animal spotting guide that's going to help you find some of the animals out there today. We probably won't see all of them, but we'll see a good few. If you have a camera with you, make sure you take that out. Probably get some good pictures. But hold on to it tightly, because if you drop it off the side of the truck, I cannot stop and get it. We're just going to wait right here for the all clear. If your cameras have a sport or action mode, that's probably going to be your best bet for getting these photos. Alright, right now we are heading into the Little Aturi Forest. This is where a lot of the animals who are really good at camouflaging themselves live. Now, camouflage means they use their natural colors and markings to help them blend in with their surroundings. Keep your eyes open, these animals might be a little more difficult to spot. I do see one though, over on the right, up against the back there. That is an okapi. It kind of looks like a zebra with those black and white striped legs, but in fact, it is not related to the zebra at all. It is the only known relative of the giraffe. And we can tell that they are related because they have similar skull structures. Alright, as we're heading around this corner here, if you look right up the hill on the right, you can see a light brown animal with white stripes. They're sitting down right now. That is the greater kudu. Those are female greater kudus. You can tell that because they do not have horns. It might be a little difficult to see. They blend into the trees very well. That large black and white bird is a saddle-billed stork. It's the tallest stork in Africa, at 5 feet tall. Alright, right over on the left there is a black rhino. Or the backside of a black rhino. Unfortunately, black rhinos are critically endangered. That means there's only 4,000 of them left in the entire world. And that's because they're poached for the horn that's on their face. That horn is made with keratin, which is the same thing our hair and fingernails are made out of. So it's not really useful for anything, but they're still poached, which is why there's so few of them left today. If you look far away into the very back over there, you might see an orangish brown animal. That is a bongo. A bongo is known as the ghost of the forest because there's horns on its head that kind of flow backwards, making it easy for them to dart through the bushes.
Passando outro rio, oh meu Deus!
Alright, we are heading out of the Little Aturi Forest into the Safi River. The Safi River is a great place to see some Nile hippopotamus. So keep your eyes open. Look at that water all around down there because they do spend most of their time in the water. I do actually see 2 hippos on land. That's very unusual. They will spend most of their time in the water to keep cool. Luckily today's not too hot, so they are on land. We get a really good view. When they're in the water, they can hold their breath for 8 minutes. They're also really good swimmers, but they'll spend most of their time walking along the bottom of the riverbed if they can reach. So I'm going to stop right up here so you folks can get a good picture. On the left side, there is another hippo in the water over there. And those large gray birds on the island are the pink-backed pelican. Now, I know what you're thinking, they don't look pink, but they do turn pink during mating season. They live in large groups called colonies, and you might see some of their nests over there. And both the mother and father will raise the children. Now, if you look down to your left again, there are more hippos down there.
Olha outro hipopótamo.
It's about 6 of them, I think.
Uou, tem vários! Quantos?
Now, as we head over down to the left, there are some Nile crocodiles. A group of crocodiles on land is called a bass, and a group in the water is called a float. Nile crocodiles will spend a lot of time opening and closing their mouths. That's how they release their extra body heat. They can also stay completely still for up to 2 hours, waiting for their prey. Alright, we are now leaving the Safi River. We are heading to a completely different ecosystem out here on the Harambe Reserve. We are heading to the Serengeti grasslands. The Serengeti grasslands is home to some of Africa's more popular animals like elephants and giraffes, lions and cheetahs. So hopefully if we keep our eyes open, we'll get to see some of those things.
Aqui é pra fazer passeio pago. Ver as girafas,
if
tudo
you look
mais.
to the right, there is a baobab tree. It's sometimes called the upside down tree because it looks like the roots are sticking up in the air. But those are not the roots, those are actually the branches. The baobab tree only has leaves 3 months out of the year. They can also hold a lot of water in their trunks, and that helps them survive the dry season. Alright, if you look out right over here, this is my favorite view of the entire reserve. The sprawling landscape of the Serengeti grasslands. So the Serengeti grasslands is something we call a self-sustaining ecosystem. And what that means is all the animals that live here have a job, and it keeps the place looking really nice. Elephants are kind of like the bulldozers. They knock down the trees when they get too big. Giraffes are kind of like the pruning shears. They take those leaves off the trees. And some of the smaller animals are like the lawnmowers. They keep the grass nice and short so new grass can grow. So when all the animals do their job, the landscape looks as beautiful as it does right now. Wild dogs, also known as the painted dog.
Ah, eles estão dormindo lá.
They're over there. They're kind of
Ali, ó.
blending in, but they are on the ground under that tree.
Embaixo da árvore.
They live in groups called packs, and they also hunt in packs. They chase down their prey until the prey becomes too tired, and then they feed. They always let their young feed first, as well as the sick. Now, on either side of the truck, there are some tall cones of reddish-brown earth. These are termite mounds. So tiny little termites build these giant mounds of earth, and they are as hard as concrete after being baked in the sun. Elephants will actually use these termite mounds as scratching posts because they are so strong.
O Parque Vila Lobos em São Paulo tem um gigantesco. Não precisa vir pra Disney ver isso, não. Lá na frente tem mais, ó. Over there are Ankoli cattle. It's the only domesticated animal here on the reserve. And those horns are not as heavy as they look. They are hollow with a honeycomb structure on the inside. And the blood will flow through that honeycomb structure, regulating their body temperature. This gray animal on either side of the truck is the white-bearded wildebeest. There's one on the left over here. Ai, que estranho.
And the white-bearded wildebeest is part of the largest migration of any land animal. Their young have to be up and running within 5 minutes of their birth, so they can keep up with the herd. Please have a seat for me. Thank you. And up here, of course, I bet everyone knows what this animal is. This is the giraffe. It is the Maasai giraffe.
You can tell that because their brown spots are kind of splotchy. They don't have defined lines. Beside giraffe are the tallest animals in the world. They can be up to 20 feet tall. When the babies are born, they can be 6 feet tall. Despite having those really long necks, they have the same number of vertebrae that humans do, and that's 7. They also have long, sticky tongues that help them eat the leaves from the trees. Alright, we are now going to be heading into Monkey Point. So keep your eyes open. Hopefully we'll see some monkeys out here today.
Aqui é a área do macaco, mas tem que procurar ele.
So look over to the left here. We might see some mandrills.
Ooh!
I do see some under those trees right there. Mandrills are the largest and most colorful of all the monkeys in Africa.
Parece o Raqui.
And that one on the ground over to the left is the dominant male, and you can tell that because he has the brightest colors. Mandrills partake in something called social grooming. And what that means is they pick bugs off each other and eat those bugs. And that's how they make friends. Alright, we're heading into elephant country right now. So we should start to see some elephants pretty soon. And scientists and conservationists have been doing a lot of work to study elephants lately. And one thing they're concentrating on when they study these creatures are their communication patterns. One thing they've learned while studying these communication patterns is that elephants are afraid of bees. I can't say I blame them, I'm afraid of bees too. But farmers are working with these scientists to build bee fences around their farms in Africa. So when the elephants get too close to the farms, they hear the bees buzzing and run away. It doesn't hurt the elephants, and as an added benefit, the farmers can sell that honey. Uh-oh. This isn't good.
Tá legal não.
Front wheels, back wheels. All right, we made it. Someone remind me not to go that way again. Okay. If you look on either side of the truck, you're going to start seeing some red clay. That tells me we are definitely getting close to elephant country. If you look closely in this clay, you can see tusk marks on either side of the truck. That's because elephants will eat this red clay to get some vitamins and nutrients that they don't get in their everyday diet. It's kind of like a multivitamin for them. Elephants have the second longest childhood of any animal in the world. It's about 13-15 years. And the animal with the longest childhood in the world is humans.
Olha ele lá no fundo.
So I do see an elephant over there, so we definitely are going to see some elephants tonight.
Tá meio magrinho,
You look
né?
over to the left side.
Aqui, ó.
And sometimes at this part of the reserve, we can get a local radio station. So let's see if we can get that. There it is. And I will make a stop over here so you can get some pictures of the elephants. I have those cameras ready. Looks like a baby and mother are walking this way, so hopefully we'll get some good shots.
Ai, que fofinhos. Tem um lá no fundo. Olha o passarinho aqui, ó, o patinho. Ó, tomando banho.
Alrighty. Up here on the left are some greater flamingos. The greater flamingo is the largest flamingo in Africa, and that's how it gets its name, greater.
They get that famous pink color from the food they eat. They eat small species of shrimp, and those shrimp have something in them called beta-carotene. And beta-carotene gives them that pink color. So they're not born pink, but they get that color over time. Over on the left, these are bonteboks. At one point, there were only 17 bonteboks left in the wild, and that's because they were poached for that beautiful purplish-brown coat they have. So now, all the bonteboks that are left in the world today live on reserves just like this one, so we can help preserve their population. Alright, keep your eyes open as we come around on the left here, because this is where we can usually find some cheetahs. And I do see two behind those rocks right there. They can be a little hard to see because those spots help them blend in with their surroundings. Cheetahs are the fastest animal in the world. They can reach speeds of 60 miles an hour. But they won't do that unless they absolutely have to. And when they do, it's only for short periods of time because it tires them out very easily. There are two more up here. I'm going to stop so we can get some photos. Cheetahs are actually afraid of large dogs. So farmers in Africa will use dogs called Anatolian shepherds to help keep the cheetahs away from their farms. Now those dogs don't hurt the cheetahs, but they make sure that the cheetahs don't harm the livestock. So it's a win-win for everybody. Now on the left we are coming up on a large outcropping of rocks that is known as a copy. A copy is a good place to usually see a pride of lions. So keep your eyes open, we'll look for those lions.
Os leões, onde eles estão? Alguém achou?
Lions are inactive about 18 to 20 hours every day, so if we do see them, we'll be very lucky.
Cadê os lions? Gente, eles sumiram. Alguém tá achando eles aqui? Não achei ainda.
So there could be some animals up ahead, or there might be an animal in the road that we're waiting for.
Se alguém achou, por
We always
favor, me
give animals
ajude.
the right of way here on the reserve because this is their home and we're just visitors.
Porque eu não achei o leão. Oh, meu Deus, são avestruz. Tá difícil, o leão morreu aqui.
Over there are some white rhinos, and we will be getting a better view of some of them when we come around the corner. That is a baby, that small one right in front. You can tell the difference between a white rhino and the black rhino because white rhinos are wider, both in body and jaw. They're also more social. Black rhinos are usually by themselves, but the white rhinos can usually be found in groups, just like those over there.
Enquanto isso, a
Alright,
gente
so keep your
procura o
eyes
leão.
open for some lions as we come around the corner.
E a gente não acha o
If you see
leão.
any, feel free to shout out, because I don't believe I see any today.
Gente, o leão
But like I
morreu.
said, that's not surprising because they are inactive 18 to 20 hours every day.
Sem leão hoje.
Was he sleeping over there? That happens a lot. They like to sleep. Alright, up here on the left we have some warthogs. They're being a little more interesting than the lions. Even though they have those short little legs, they can reach speeds of 35
Que
miles an hour.
fofinho!
And you might notice they have some little burrows down there. They'll build those burrows and then they will back into them with their tusks facing out. And that will give them some protection. Alright, up on the right we're going to come around in front of those rhinos so you can have a really good view.
Tem uns ovos aqui, ó. Olha os meninos. Estão comendo. E já atrapalha no almoço deles. Olha. detalhes, gente.
Getting it ready for some new animals.
Aqui não tem ninguém porque eles vão
So if you come back and visit
pegar
us
novos
again,
animais pra
there'll probably be
colocar
a new
aí.
animal here. So a lot of the animals we saw on our safari today are endangered. There's not very many of them left. If you're interested in helping these endangered animals and other animals like it around the world, you can contribute to the Disney Conservation Fund right here at Animal Kingdom. The Disney Conservation Fund partners with reserves, just like this one, and other reserves throughout Africa, to help preserve the populations of these animals so they can be enjoyed by our children and our children's children, just like we enjoyed them today on our safari. If you're interested in seeing more animals and some different ones than we saw on our safari, you can head over to the Pangani Forest Trail. On the Pangani Forest Trail, they have naked mole rats, meerkats, a Grevy's zebra, and they even have some silverback gorillas. And there are 2 baby gorillas over there as well. If you're looking to head inside for a while, you can check out the Festival of the Lion King, also in the village of Harambe in Africa. They have shows every hour on the hour, and it's a really good show for the whole family. If there are any wilderness explorers on board, you have been riding on Simba 1. Now here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye to our new friends. It's just too sad. So instead we say Kwaherini, which means to go well. So Kwaherini, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day here.